we've got ourselves a pretty crazy, intense week of information and trailers for you to go into and just. So let's go and just get right into it. This is Indie Spotlight. Welcome to Indie Spotlight, the show where we take indie video game news, trailers, and new releases, and we get them out there for you guys to check out. As always, this week we are starting with trailers, and the first trailer that we have for you is Velocity 2X. So as you can see, Velocity 2X kind of looks a lot like a Metroid-style game. You're going to be going all different places and doing all kinds of different activities. And anything with Metroid-esque controls or gameplay just automatically hooks me. But I really love the fact that this one's super quick and fast, hence the name. So it's really high-paced, really high action, and just everything's going 1,000 miles a minute. It's almost like if you took TEC 3001, put it on a 2D plane, and gave it Metroid controls. And that, to me, sounds like a match made in indie game heaven. I'm going to play this game, and I cannot wait. The next trailer that we have for you this week is Hyper Gauntlet. This game looks way too quick for me. I love games like TEC 3001. I'm a big Sonic fan and I grew up on Sonic. But this right here that you're looking at, I don't know that I can respond that quickly. It looks awesome and it kind of reminds me of Antichamber. I just don't know that I can keep up. I don't know if it starts you out slower or not, but I don't know that I can keep up. I'll give it a try, and I'm always willing to give it a shot, and I think it looks awesome. But if you can keep up with that game, kudos to you. No way. The next trailer that we have for you this week is Space, the Return of the Pixxelfrazer. In space. Kind of reminds me of old style like Asteroids, but with obviously more modern graphics. A lot of the effects kind of like Geometry Wars or Beat Hazard, things like that. You put them all together and you get a game that kind of looks like Space, and it looks really cool. I'm extremely excited to try it out. One thing that I saw in the trailer that I'm still trying to wrap my head around and I don't quite understand is it has randomly generating music. I don't know how that works. And I am completely mind blown at just that idea. I don't Like, I have Beat Hazard, and that game has automatic gameplay that will wrap around the music, and it analyzes music and everything, and that's cool. But this has randomly generated music, and I don't know how that works. I just don't know. But it looks cool and sounds cool, and I'm excited to try it out. The final trailer that we have for you this week is Off Grid.
There is unity in the impression. There must be absolute unity in the response.
Is a classic example of killing the messenger, not the message.
The net we made is being distorted. Power is being taken away from the edge and concentrated in the center.
Internet blacklist, online censorship, copyright. In all these cases,
Off Grid seems to be kind of going with the Watch Dogs hype that's happening right now, as well as looking kind of like a Metal Gear Solid or Splinter Cell or stealth game like that. Very polygon oriented, and I really like the style of it. It looks very cool, and I love any kind of stealth game. I mean, Splinter Cell is awesome, though I never got very far in those games. I beat Double Agent, and that's about it. I never got very far, but I always loved them. Metal Gear Solid is my favorite game series of all time, even though I don't consider it a stealth game. That's my personal opinion on it. But anyway, Off Grid looks very cool, and this is just a prototype that you're seeing right now, so it looks very cool, and already I'm extremely excited to see how it turns out. It's just anything stealth, and then you have like the Watch Dogs thing going on too. I'm all on board. Alright, the first bit of news that we have for you this week is that the Humble Indie Bundle has a new mobile bundle for Android, if you want to go and get it. Some of the games that are going to be on there, at least one that I know that I'm playing a lot because I just absolutely love the series, is Bloons Tower Defense 5. Love that game, and now that I can play it on my tablet or on my phone, I'm just awesome. I love it. Some of the other ones, Star Command, Punch Quest, Time Surfer, and then you have like games like Carmageddon and Raven Sword if you pay above the average. So if you guys want to go check that out, link is in the description. So if you guys are fans of my gaming channel, or if you've been watching it or anything like that, you'll notice that I played a demo for a game called Neverending Nightmares. It was a Kickstarter game and was awesome. The demo was really cool. The style, the graphics, everything about it was really awesome, and I was very, very excited about the project. I ended up going over to the Kickstarter, and I ended up pledging $25 to get beta access and the game when it came out. And as of yesterday, when this comes out, Neverending Nightmares has reached its goal of $99,000, and it was so dramatic. I watched this entire thing because apparently someone accidentally, well, okay, in some European countries, when you go to put in dollar amounts, you use a comma rather than a period. And so someone put in $95 with a comma. And the system on Kickstarter, since it's more US-centric, accidentally interpreted as $9,500. So this person who only intended to donate $95 was now set up to donate $9,500, and they couldn't do that. So the community that was pledging and everything came together and like just started donating and upping their pledges so that this one guy could reduce his pledge, because with his $9,500, it had gone over $99,000, and you can't reduce your pledge below the goal once you've reached the goal. And so this guy was just freaking out. And thankfully, though, a lot of people upped their pledges, myself included, and we were able to get him back down to his $95 donation. But anyway, as of right now, as this recording, it's got $103,400 donated. I am super excited for this game. If you want to donate to it, it's too late now, but if you guys are excited for this, I'm going to leave a link in the description for when I played it, and then I'm going to leave a link to the Kickstarter so you can just see what happened. Speaking of Kickstarter, Mighty Number 9 continues to raise money, and they're actually within some of their final days for their Kickstarter. They're near $3 million raised. Again, myself included as one of the backers. This game is going to be absolutely amazing, but Two Player Productions has released episode 1 of their documentary about Mighty Number 9. It's absolutely amazing. It's about half an hour long. I watched the entire thing, and it was really good, really well made. If you guys want to check that out, I'm going to leave that in the description as well. Final bit of news that we have for you, not necessarily indie news, but pretty freaking big news coming out of Valve this week. 3 announcements. SteamOS, Valve's controller, and the fact that Valve is getting into the console market. This has been speculated for a long amount of time, but they finally announced it. They announced and showed the new controller for Steam operating system, and I'm curious what you guys have to say about this, because I personally am really excited. I mean, there's one thing about, like, the controller itself has no analog sticks. It's 2 trackpads on each side, and then the buttons are actually in the middle, which is a little strange and a little bit weird, and there's a touchscreen in the middle too. So people are a little kind of like, what the heck is this controller? Why does it look so weird? And personally, I think there's no reason to overlook it as of right now. Obviously, nobody's had a chance to put their hands onto it yet, except for people who have been obviously testing it or something like that. But I think that, if Valve's known for anything, it's known for innovation, and it's known for really doing things that are absolutely amazing and people go crazy for. So would you guys be interested in a Steam console and operating system that's going to be running on Linux, we were told, which is a little strange considering that most of the Steam games all of them do not work with Linux. So obviously they're going to be doing a lot of optimization for Steam to get all of those games running on Linux, because they said every game will run on Linux. So, or rather, they'll all run on the Steam operating system. So obviously they'd have to get Linux to work as well. So what do you guys think about this? I'm excited. The controller, while obviously people are freaking out about it, I'm kind of excited to see how well it works. People are saying that it's more like a mouse control and more something more PC-esque. So I'm curious to see how that's going to work and how responsive it'll be. But as of right now, we can only speculate. And but I think it's going to be pretty cool. Obviously, I don't think it's going to hit the same kind of big market as Xbox or PlayStation. But there might be a pretty big minority of fans that go pretty crazy about it. Unfortunately, this week I was not able to find any new releases. So if you guys know of any, put them in the comments below. You guys will have to inform me this time, because I couldn't find anything. But that does it for this episode of Indie Spotlight. As always, if you have any news, trailers, and new releases you would like to let us know about, you can hit me up at Twitter at twitter.com/Dazerin, Ryan at twitter.com/MasterBlood, or VVGTV at twitter.com/VVGTV. And if you're a developer and you're interested in showing off your game in some way, whether it be, a playthrough, kind of like our Quick Bits section, we now have a new thing called Dev Bits. So if you're a developer and you want to have a video put up showing some of your gameplay on the channel, let us know. You can hit us up on all those Twitters, or you can go to the website vvgtv.com and let us know there. As always, I'm your host, Kyle Lock, and I will see you next week when we talk more about indie video game news, trailers, and new releases.